Trajeron nuestros abuelos, padres, y hemos seguido con la misma tradición desde más chiquitos, más grandes y todos.
Es una tradición que se lleva en el alma, se lleva en el corazón y vive uno con ellos, nace con el olor a pólvora, con el traje.
Hello everyone, Mo here. Welcome to this week's vlog. We'll be talking about Cinco de Mayo. I'm doing well. I'm still studying for some upcoming exams and we're approaching the end of the semester, so I'm counting the days and my blessings, but staying safe and staying healthy, like I hope you are as well.
Hello, this is Lorenzo. Just doing a quick check-in on me. I'm doing alright. My grandparents are doing alright. We've just been in the house. My grandma gave me a crossword puzzle book that she wants me to do in my spare time, so I think I'm gonna start working on that. And yeah, everything's been fine.
Hi everyone. This week has been going pretty well. It's been a very busy week. I've been having to do a lot of assignments for finals and getting ready for them, so I'm gonna be glad once finals are over for sure.
So to start things off, I just would quickly like to note that Cinco de Mayo is not Mexican Independence Day. Mexican Independence Day is September 16th, and Cinco de Mayo is actually a day to commemorate the Battle of Puebla. It's also important to note that though it being a national holiday, most Mexicans don't even celebrate Cinco de Mayo, considering that this was a win in Puebla. Families from Puebla mostly celebrate this. Me, myself, my grandparents and I, our family is from Chihuahua, Mexico, and we've never celebrated Cinco de Mayo. It was just an excuse for us to get together and eat. So the Battle of Puebla stems from the second French intervention in Mexico, which started because Mexico's president at the time, Benito Juarez, had not paid interest payments to French, British, and Spanish creditors. And also France's Emperor Napoleon III really wanted to expand his empire into Latin America, which truly goes to show France's true colors in the end. The war started in late 1861 and ended in 1867, and France ultimately regained control of Mexico, winning the war after the Battle of Puebla. But that battle went down in history as an incredible win for Mexico, and Mexican General Ignacio Zaragoza, who even has statues of remembrance in Mexico. The battle itself lasted from daybreak to evening, with French using up all of their artillery shells, which ultimately led to their defeat, which was really important because at this point, I believe France hadn't lost a battle Mexican-American War since Waterloo, and that day was a great moral victory for Mexico because for them it showed great amounts of pride in not giving up in such a seemingly one-sided battle against the French military.
The French presence in Mexico was a strategic move. By gaining a toehold in Mexico, the French could then support the Confederate Army. The defeat of the French at the Battle of Puebla was not definitive, but it helped to stave off the French while the U.S. Union forces made advances. Thus, Cinco de Mayo can be seen as a turning point during the Civil War. Although for many without Mexican heritage, it's just an excuse to throw a party and drink, they should also remember that it is a day of cultural pride for Mexican Americans, even if it isn't widely celebrated in Mexico itself. It was first celebrated in the United States in Southern California in 1863 as a show of solidarity with Mexico against French rule. Celebrations continued on a yearly basis, and by the 1930s it was seen as an opportunity to celebrate Mexican identity, promote ethnic consciousness, and build community solidarity. In the 1950s and 60s, Mexican American youths appropriated the holiday, and it gained a binational flavor. Its celebration was used as a way to build Mexican American pride. Celebrations sometimes acquired corporate sponsors, and this is the way the holiday began to take on a commercial flavor. In the 1980s, the holiday began to be commercialized on a wide scale. Now, Cinco de Mayo is promoted as the day to celebrate Mexican food, culture, traditions, and of course, booze. Parties might include mariachi bands and other Mexican folk music, and even traditional Mexican dancing.
We know that in America, Cinco de Mayo is typically just thought of as a party. Many people celebrate in bars, enjoying happy hours. Many people are under the impression they are celebrating Mexican Independence Day on Cinco de Mayo, but in fact, this is on September 16th and celebrates something entirely different. On September 16th, 1810, in the town of Dolores, Mexico, a Catholic priest named Miguel Hidalgo y Costilla rang church bells and delivered a speech known as the Cry of Dolores, which commenced the revolt against Spanish rule. This started the Mexican Independence War, which went on for a decade before Mexico was actually considered an independent country. Cinco de Mayo, on the other hand, celebrates a win against French troops in the Battle of Puebla. It is typically celebrated in the state of Puebla in Mexico, as well as Mexico City, with parades, battle reenactments, cultural singing and dancing performances, as well as providing cultural foods. This is not including nachos and hard-shell tacos, along with frozen margaritas, like it is in America.
We especially see Cinco de Mayo being highly celebrated in our own city of Las Vegas. The Strip will have happy hour specials and discounts on drinks, club entrances, and meals. We also see Las Vegas celebrating St. Patrick's Day in a similar manner. And even when most people don't know why they are celebrating a holiday, everyone's always down for a party. But just like other holidays in the US, it may lead to cultural appropriation, as those not of Mexican descent may feel comfortable wearing sombreros, fake mustaches, and ponchos.
Cultural appropriation happens when one culture takes something from another culture. And this is problematic because whatever they took is usually significant and unique to that culture alone. The people that take from this culture usually have no knowledge of the cultural significance and often do not reference it or pay respects to it. This is problematic for many reasons because this can be offensive to the culture that it was stolen from. For one, the people whose culture has been stolen often have a long line of history of others stealing from their culture to begin with. Many times, especially when celebrities appropriate culture, they have a large platform to benefit from. Something to keep in mind with cultural appropriation is it is often when a dominant group steals from a minority group or stigmatized group. Another reason this is problematic is because typically the group that is being stolen from is usually a victim of oppression, discrimination, and racism, specifically within America. Behaviors, clothing, language, styles, dialects are often associated with negative stereotypes and negative associations because of the negative perception of that culture anyways. But when it's stolen and used by someone in a dominant group, those things are usually considered favorable or likable. And things that were taken might become popularized by someone who now uses them in the dominant group, when before they were not considered a good thing. Let's look at some examples of cultural appropriation. Here is a photo of a group of girls dressed up as Native Americans with a "Welcome to the Tribe" sign. This is offensive because Native Americans, who are actually part of a tribe and because of their heritage have endured many struggles within America specifically, when their culture is depicted by others who share the same race as those who colonized them before and are still oppressing them today, it's very problematic because this is not just a costume for Native Americans. Here is a photo of famous singer Katy Perry, who is clearly appropriating an Asian culture by depicting herself as a geisha. Not only is this not her culture, but she's benefiting from this because she's using this in her performance. Here is celebrity Kim Kardashian at the MTV Movie and TV Awards showing off her braids. This is something that comes from the Black culture. And when a celebrity specifically appropriates a culture, to others, they may be influencing them into doing the same thing. Those who are younger are a target group because they can see this as a trend, and since they are potentially easily influenced anyways, they may feel that there's no issue in participating in this because someone they look up to or listen to or follow does the same. Black people may see this and think to themselves, what if America loved black people as much as black culture? Often people rip off the black community with hairstyles, clothing styles, music, and other art forms, but at the end of the day, they have no idea what it means to be black, especially in America when black people are harassed by police, brutally beaten, and often wrongfully convicted.